reaffirming exactly what we've been saying over the last several years, that secretly transitioning kids to school without telling parents is unconstitutional, violates parental rights, and kids do not have secrecy rights from their own parents, and the judge in this case said exactly that. So we're very excited about the decision.
The resounding rebuke, as California Family Council calls it in a press release, came from U.S. District Judge Roger T. Benitez. Benitez's ruling says California's so-called parental exclusion policies must be permanently blocked. Now, Burt said, we just need to see it implemented.
It really is vindication regarding what we've been saying all along. The Attorney General here in California has been lying to schools and to parents, and we are glad to see that we have a federal constitution that keeps states like California accountable.
I'm Bronson Woodruff.
Erica Kirk did a weekend television appearance with Fox's Shannon Bream. Erica mentioned that her faith is helping get her through difficult times in the absence of Charlie Kirk. He was shot and killed in September while at a TPUSA event.
And the answer to me is just so simple. Like, you trust in the Lord, and when you trust in the Lord, you do it. And faith is so powerful when it's lived out, but I don't have this massive in-depth answer. God is good, and the world is evil. Don't be surprised when the world acts like the world. But I know that the Lord will use everything.
Now, some people, namely those with unidentified social media accounts, have been critical of Erica Kirk, saying she does not talk about this or respond to that. Erica told Fox News that she does not have time to respond to everything.
Hearing on Charlie's legacy, and there is so much noise. I know I've said this many times before, and there will always be noise. Whenever you are over the target, we're in enemy-occupied territory. There will always be noise, and there will always be people that will distract you. If myself or Charlie spent every single second going down and responding to every accusation, responding to every insult, responding to every judgment, we would get nothing done. We just wouldn't. And at the end of, Nehemiah, he basically was saying, Lord, strengthen my hands. And so I feel the same way. Like, I'm not going to ask God to remove those people from my life. It just makes me stronger. So, Lord, instead of removing these people and this noise at the bottom of the hill while I'm trying to build, just give me stronger shoulders, give me stronger hands to keep building, because that's always going to be there. That's the enemy, and that's life. Mm-hmm. That's life.
Erica Kirk is now the leader of Turning Point USA. Find more news on AFN.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on X, and subscribe to our free daily email news briefs on AFN.net.
At Wesley Biblical Seminary, we believe God is raising up a movement across our nation and around the world who hold fast to the inerrancy of Scripture and the hope of holiness. We do this through bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees, certificate programs, and even training for lay people. So whatever your next step is in being equipped for ministry, we're here for you. And if you believe these are the kind of pastors we need leading churches in the future, we invite you to think about giving to Wesley Biblical Seminary. Learn more about us at wbs.edu.
Welcome to Today's Issues, offering a Christian response to the issues of the day. Here's your host, Tim Wildmon, President of the American Family Association.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Thanks for joining us. And yes, we are live, finally, today, back here on the program as we took a few days off for the Christmas break. Fred Jackson joining me. Good morning, Fred.
Good to be back.
And Chris Woodward.
Good morning.
So, Chris, what did you guys do for Christmas there, Fred?
Well, we kind of spread it out a little bit. We have a daughter and our son-in-law and granddaughter that live down in the Mobile area. So we spent a little time down there. Mm-hmm. And of course, back home here in Tupelo for the rest of the Christmas and enjoying the summer weather. It's been lovely.
Yeah. Until now. Until now, it's been really, really pleasant. Temperatures in the 70s.
I tell you.
For the most part, the last week or so, but now it's dipping down because a winter storm is crossing the Canadian border.
Right.
And really,
yeah, you can blame us. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We always do, wreaking havoc on the upper Midwest and the Northeast.
Yeah, it brings new meaning to the war of northern aggression.
Yeah.
Here in these parts.
Yeah. Did you have a good Christmas there, Chris?
I did. We went to L.A., Lower Algoma, and as some people in our parts know, the Algoma area. But my wife's, we did Christmas Eve with my mother-in-law. We did Christmas morning breakfast with another set of in-laws. And then we had the big family thing, Christmas nights, and just really enjoyed it. A lot of food. I'm still full. Probably don't need to eat until the new year.
Well, we're at that stage. Our 3 kids have kids of their own, like Fred, like you do, and so they have their own big deal at Christmas Day. So we always have our Christmas a few days prior to actual Christmas Day, our family Christmas. So my wife said, she looked at the weather. She said, that Destin looks really nice right now, and there's nothing stopping us.
There you go.
Because nobody needs us on Christmas Day. We've already had our Christmas, and they're all going to their other families. She said, so why don't we just get in the car and do like people who don't have kids at home do? If they just go where they want to, when they want to, if they can.
There you go.
So we went down to the beach for a few days.
Nice.
Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But winter is about to be here for most of the country.
Yeah, I walked around the corner of my house this morning early when I get up, and the wind had shifted from that nice southern warm breeze to the northern frigid breeze.
Yep.
50-degree drop.
Yep. We met some really nice people, the snowbirds.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of snowbirds go to the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
To escape winter in the this couple was from Iowa.
Oh yeah,
they were Iowa, and they were like, we're staying here to March. We paid our dues.
Don't blame them.
30 years in the Iowa winters. We're gonna be down here for a few months. So
you know what's funny, in January and February in Destin, you see the Minnesota.
The tags
Wisconsin.
change.
For them, it's wonderful.
I know 63 is balmy.
It's great.
Balmy in January.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we hope you had a nice Christmas, everybody, and looking forward to a great 2026. We got a lot of news and stuff to catch up on that's happened the last few days. What's going on right now,
Well,
Chris?
something you've heard about all morning on American Family News, and you'll continue to hear about on American Family News at the top of every hour, is a meeting today in Mar-a-Lago, Florida's resort for President Trump. He's hosting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for continued talks on that U.S.-brokered peace deal between Israel and Hamas. This is supposed to involve things like the second phase of that deal, which calls for a couple of things: the rebuilding of Gaza, and, oh, by the way, Hamas giving up its weapons and renouncing control in the Gaza Strip. Maybe an uphill battle, but it's good that talks are still continuing here.
Yeah, I was reading about this. Is that happening today?
It is, and it's supposed to begin around 12 Central. So there may be a joint press conference early to mid-afternoon.
Okay, so one of the issues that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, man, it seems like he's been there since Lincoln was president, hasn't he? Huh?
Yes, it's been there a while.
President Lincoln today met with Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of a country that doesn't exist yet. Anyway, he has been there a long time, Netanyahu has, but he's going to insist, Netanyahu, that President Trump the United States follows through with making sure that Hamas disarms. You can't really go on to phase 2. I don't know, how many phases are there?
At one point, there were 21 points in his plan.
Yeah, without making sure that Israel's enemy, Hamas, is disarmed, completely and totally disarmed.
I'll believe it when I see it. Hamas, there was some quotes in some of the news stories on the weekend. Hamas leaders who are still there saying, we're not giving up our weapons. This is going to be the critical point, quite frankly. Hamas willing to give up control of Gaza, and right now I don't see it. We've seen the skirmishes over the last couple of months there. So I'm not optimistic at this point that we're going to see a successful phase 2. Mm-hmm. And if it stops there, then basically we're back to square one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the I'm sure they'll have a joint press conference maybe later on today.
Yeah.
But is that just a one-day meeting? Do you know, I guess? Maybe?
I'm not sure. It may stretch into a couple of days. And I say that because Trump hosted Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, over the weekend. They had a joint press conference yesterday, and those talks are going to continue in the days ahead with the same people that were part of yesterday's talks.
Yes. Well, so that's what's going on with President Trump. You know, a lot of big decisions to be made, and trying to solve the move forward, I guess, the peace agreement in Israel, and then also Ukraine and Russia. The Ukrainian-Russia situation, that's been going on 3.5 years now?
It started February of 2022.
Yeah.
Okay. And, I think of most Americans have just, they're still fighting. Okay, well, next story.
Right.
I don't know, but it seems like the Ukrainian, and that really doesn't impact us. Okay, it's not.
No.
Yeah.
In a way that's economic or any other way like that. So.
No, when you look at what Putin continues to do, even over the weekend, more missiles, drone attacks into Kyiv, deep into Kyiv, the capital city. Yet President Trump coming out of the meeting with Zelensky, Chris, yesterday, and kind of talking a little bit optimistic. Cut number 8.
I just think we're doing very well. We could be very close. There are one or two very thorny issues, very tough issues, but I think we're doing very well. We made a lot of progress today, but really we've made it over the last month. This is not a one-day process deal. This is very complicated stuff. But I think when the president says 95, I think, could be close to 95%.
When he says president, is he talking about Zelensky?
Yeah.
Right there. So he's saying that President Trump, Zelensky's 95% on board?
Well, with the peace plan, but, Putin is not going to give up, or he's not willing to go into a ceasefire unless he gets a guarantee of that 1/3 portion of the eastern part of Ukraine. That's the sticky point for Putin. He doesn't plan any kind of peace deal unless he gets that. And so far, I'm not sure if Zelensky said anything about that, but up to at least this meeting yesterday, what was coming from Zelensky was, we're not willing to give up that turf.
Yeah. It would be the equivalent of, hypothetically, Mexico invading the U.S. to try to take back the Southwest, which used to belong to Mexico, and then Canada saying, U.S., you need to just let them have it. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen? With respect to President Trump's, I think he has the best of intentions, obviously, in trying to bring peace to that region between Russia and Zelensky. But with all due respect to the president, we've heard this song before.
Sure.
Yeah.
That is, all the things he just said, very good, we're almost close, the deal's almost done, and then it didn't.
Yeah. I would recommend the administration, and maybe they plan to do this in the days ahead or early on in the new year, but I would recommend the administration trucks out the energy secretary, the Department of Agriculture, all kinds of people that are trying to do things here about the price of energy and the cost of groceries and other things, because the president has been hammered this year for seemingly being more focused on foreign policy matters rather than domestic issues. And the reason I say that he needs to do something to continue to show that he is doing something about it is because we're about to be in the midterms, and it's looking like the Republican Party may lose control of the House.
Yeah, I think they'll pivot. I think President Trump and the Republicans will now pivot, especially President Trump, into, but good grief. I'm not criticizing you and your analysis there, Chris, but he's a president of the United States. He's the leader of the free world. He can walk and chew gum.
I totally agree.
He can walk and chew gum at the same time, meaning he can handle. He has to, by necessity, in his job, deal with international affairs, which are ongoing, and they're serious matters that impacts our country and the world, and then he has to also handle domestic issues. But legislatively, there's not a lot going on. There's not much he can do. Right now, legislatively. I mean, now with the way the Congress and the has been divided, the Republicans only have like 3 or 4 votes in margin in the House. So everything that he does basically has to be done by executive order that he wants to do.
I think the big issue is going to be these Obamacare subsidies.
Yeah.
When they took their Christmas break, they didn't resolve anything. The Democrats are going to try to make their pivotal point. And what you're going to hear from the Democrats is that millions of Americans are going to go without health care unless they get these subsidies. Remember, these are subsidies that grew dramatically because of COVID. And the Democrats want to keep those subsidies. And those subsidies, they go to the drug companies, the insurance companies. They don't go directly to the people, which allows the people to say, I'm getting my my medical coverage for nothing through Obamacare. So that's going to be the big issue for them.
Okay, this is where I get glassy-eyed. Okay, when you talk about Obamacare subsidies. Okay, I think you described it pretty well, but I haven't. There's only so much you can keep up with, right, Fred?
Yeah.
Right, Chris?
Yes.
So during football season, I tune out. I tune out Obamacare subsidies. Okay, it just goes to the side.
Yeah.
Okay, but in all seriousness, this is a big deal.
It is.
And so you're saying that but when you say subsidies, what I'm hearing is the federal government or taxpayer money underwriting insurance. Is that what I'm hearing?
That is it.
Taxpayer-funded subsidies.
Yes.
Okay, which would seem to be popular with people.
Oh, sure.
Because you get stuff that you don't have to pay for. Am I right?
That is
We're talking
correct.
about a lot of people.
So why
40 million.
So why would the Republicans want to stop that?
Well, they want to stop the money going directly to the insurance companies.
Oh, I got you.
Because that allows the insurance companies to keep their increasing the rates, and then the federal government just says, okay, we'll pay you more.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was introduced during COVID because of the financial crisis that the
Government
pandemic created, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
and like any other federal government program, it goes on into eternity.
Sure.
And gets bigger.
It gets bigger. I got
As long as Uncle Sam is always there with a checkbook,
All right.
people will have no problem increasing a price.
All right.
Now, what Trump wants to do, the Trump administration wants to do, is give money in the form of HSAs, health savings accounts, to people.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. They want to seed that for people.
Okay.
Those are pretty good programs, those HSAs.
Yeah.
Because they're taxed kind of like your 401k program.
Yeah.
You can put money into it.
Gotcha.
And it's a tax deduction for you. So that's the route the Trump administration wants to go.
Right. Why would the Democrats oppose that?
Well, because it puts responsibility on the people. The other thing is, only people who are in the country legally would qualify for this.
Oh.
Democrats, I would say Democrats want to be there to do it because Democrats want you to believe that government is your father and he's here to take care of you.
Yes.
Okay.
Socialized medicine. That's what Obamacare is.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. You're listening to today's issues on the American Family Radio Network. All right. Next story, Chris.
Well, let's go to New York City, where
New York
in a
City.
few days, Zohran Mamdani
Zohran
is going to
Mamdani.
be the mayor, the socialist or communist, whatever he wants to be identified as today. He's going to be entering office as the new mayor of New York City.
Okay.
And he has made the news over the weekend because he's appointed someone to be his fire commissioner, and this person is named Lillian Bonsignor, and I'm not making this up. Lillian is going to be running the fire department of New York City.
Okay.
And Lillian has never been a firefighter. But one thing she is an open lesbian, which led to a lot of people over the weekend criticizing Mamdani for a DEI hire. I've got a couple of clips here. Mamdani thinks this is a slam dunk of a hire. Clip one.
And they deserve a leader who cares about their work because she did it herself, who understands every detail, and who will fight tirelessly to empower FDNY and make it the best firefighting force in the world.
Now,
All right. Now, that was Mayor
Mamdani.
Mamdani. I'm gonna have to learn.
Soon to be mayor,
Yeah.
Mamdani.
So, listen, I'm not one who necessarily thinks somebody has to have a given experience to be an overseer of a team or of a. I mean, there are coaches in the NFL who never played professional football.
True.
There are presidents who were television stars.
Yeah.
And were never elected officials.
Mm-hmm.
So that it doesn't disqualify you in my mind necessarily that you haven't done a particular job before you take a leadership role in that profession. Does that make sense?
I get you.
However, with a fire department, you gotta have been a fireman. I mean, that is one of those professions to me where you've got to identify with the people you're leading, and if you've never been, so you're telling me that the mayor-elect has put in place over the fire department of New York City, which is massive,
Sure.
a massive organization, somebody who's never had firefighting experience?
Correct. She has worked in EMS, kind of the ambulatory side of the fire department, and
Okay.
she wears a uniform as part of her
Okay,
job.
so she has had some experience working inside the fire department.
Yes, but
okay.
she's never been inside a burning building with a hose to try to
Right.
put out a fire.
Well,
That's what a lot of people are upset about.
All right, next story, because I don't really care. I don't really care what they do in New York.
Okay.
Just,
All right.
I just want to go fly in, go to my hotel, get on the airplane, go. That's all I want to do, and I want to do so without being robbed,
Okay.
mugged.
But it is going to be an interesting story in 26.
Oh yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
going to be watching
Yeah,
if
true.
he follows through with his plan, with his promises.
Yeah, but you're saying she's an open lesbian, and that's the reason she got the job.
That's what a lot of people are saying she got the job.
That's what
based on her lifestyle
A lot
choices.
of people are saying. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's news reports, social
News
media
report, yeah.
posts. A lot
Yeah,
of
well,
people are saying
you know, that's,
gay and straight.
did he say anything about that when he announced her hiring?
Not
We have the
in
first
the
open
clips
lesbian
that
fire department chief.
I don't think he said it in those words.
Okay.
I don't think he said it in those words.
All
By the
right.
way, she does say that she knows what the fire department needs and she'll meet all their needs. Let's do this real quick because we have a break coming up, and this will fit nicely time-wise.
Okay.
There are some court proceedings that are continuing for Tyler Robinson, the man that authorities say shot and killed Charlie Kirk back in September. And we can do a number of things with this particular audio here. Attorneys for Tyler Robinson are asking a judge not to allow media access inside the court proceedings from this point forward because they're concerned about a media circus. Clip 5.
We don't want the chaos that is out in the media in this courtroom. So whatever this court can do to prevent that is what we're asking.
Now, I've got audio here from Donna Rotuno, who is a criminal defense attorney and Fox News contributor, and she was on to respond to this request from Robinson's attorneys. Clip 6.
If you're really worried about the chaos, how do you avoid the chaos? You avoid the chaos by allowing the cameras in so you can see what's happening in real time. Chaos begins when you don't know what's happening, and then people create a narrative. So by having the cameras there, people can see for their own eyes, make their own judgments. So I don't think that argument is really worthy here. I think it falls flat on its face. I do think you're absolutely right. The defense needs to talk to their client about how he appears in court. He needs to be taking this seriously. This is obviously one of the most horrific things that we've seen happen before our eyes. And, if we can watch the killing before our eyes, I think it's, a little bit ironic that Mr. Robinson is now saying he doesn't want the cameras on him.
Let me ask you this. Who decides whether cameras are allowed in a courtroom?
In this case, it's the judge.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the lawyer for Robinson has already won a few of the petitions she has made. Number one, that the client comes in dressed in a street suit, and rather than an orange prisoner suit. That was one thing she demanded. The other thing is that the media, even if they're allowed in, are not allowed to show his shackled feet as he's sitting in the courtroom. They're not allowed.
Okay.
So the current judge has allowed those two things.
Okay. What's the accused name?
Tyler Robinson.
Tyler. I knew it was Robinson, but I couldn't. Tyler Robinson. He's from Utah,
Yes, 22 years old.
right?
Yep.
And so let me ask you this. I've always been, does he claim that he didn't do it?
No, he claims, well, I mean, they have messages that he sent his significant other, the male companion roommate he may or may not have been having relations with, as well as other people in a group chat.
What did he say?
That he said that he did it. He said they were here to arrest him. I'm about to get arrested. I shot Charlie.
I don't mean to sound like I'm playing dumb here, although that's not hard for me sometimes. But I want to ask you, what's the benefit of doing all these gymnastics that this fella and his lawyer is doing, Tyler Robinson, when he's guilty of sin? What is the benefit of saying, listen, I don't want a camera in here. I don't want you to show him in his orange suit. I mean, the guy's already has he said I'm innocent.
Yeah,
I didn't do.
He has not entered a plea.
What now?
He has not entered a plea. Yeah.
Well, if you hadn't entered a plea by now, then you're pleading guilty.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
So
but it's just the way the legal system works.
Okay.
If my assumption is that the lawyers think they may.
He didn't want the death penalty, probably.
I think that's
maybe
what
a
it boils down to.
technicality, possibly a technicality that they can rule on that this evidence is not admissible. You know what lawyers do.
I know.
That kind of stuff.
I think they're trying to tug at the heartstrings of the court of public opinion to try to get him out of the death penalty, which the governor and other people in Utah have said for months they were going to pursue.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll see what happens there. But I know what criminal defense lawyers do, and we that's where our system works.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't want to put an innocent person in jail or in prison. That's the idea. So you have to prove guilt.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're guilty by self-admittance, as you say this text is, and then the video footage of him jumping off the building and running and hiding, and what he did at his parent, with the gun of his grandfather and all that. Maybe it's a matter of trying to get out of the worst, as you say, some kind of plea deal that they will broker where he gets to life in prison rather than the electric chair or whatever they do there in Utah. We'll be back momentarily with more of today's issues on the American Family Radio Network. Stay with us.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildmon.
Sometimes as we travel down life's road, the going gets rough. The sailing isn't always smooth on the sea of life. Sometimes it gets kinda bumpy. There are 3 things we can do in life when the going gets rough. One thing we can do is to resign. And you'd be surprised at the number who take this course of relief. They will lead the parade when the going is easy and smooth and everything is in good order. Yes, sir. They'll strut high and mighty as long as there's a band playing and the streets are lined with folks shouting hoorays. But let difficult times set in, and they are nowhere to be found. Usually those who resign when the going gets rough are those who come in for purely selfish reasons. They only wanted to get something for themselves, not willing to make any sacrifice and not desiring to make the road any smoother. They check out when the going gets rough. Another thing we can do when the going gets rough is to become resigned. Did I pronounce that right? Let me say it again. Another thing we can do when the going gets rough is to become resigned. We can cry and weep while repeating the worn-out phrase, "Well, it has always been this way and always will be this way." And, I guess, If it's left up to them to change matters and make them better, they are right. Things always will be this way, for they certainly aren't going to put forth any sweat to make them better. It takes no great effort to accept things as they are and not try to make them any better. We can become resigned real easy, and a great advantage to this is that we can quit without checking out. We can stay in and do nothing. Seems to be several of those folks around, doesn't it? I said there are 3 things we can do when the going gets rough. The third thing is this: we can become re-signed. I borrowed some money from the bank once. My note was made out for a year. At the end of the year, I had paid most of the note back, but some of it I had to carry over. A new note was made, and I had to re-sign it. The old signature was no longer any good. Many of us need to get a fresh signature on our credentials. Once I had to go to a notary public to get a paper notarized. I noticed that on the notarization, the notary public had written, "My commission expires on," and it gave a date. You know, perhaps we are operating under an expired commission. Maybe we need to re-sign. When the hard times come, I want God to know He can count on me. He didn't run out on me when the going got rough. He stuck it out, even to the cross. And it would be mighty little on my part if I backed out on Him when the going got rough. I want Him to know He can count on me when the hard times come. When the going gets rough, we can resign, become resigned, or we can re-sign. Those who resign or become resigned never help the cause. Those who re-sign do. Take up your pen and put a fresh signature on the dotted line of life.
This has been My Turn with Don Wildmon, a production of the American Family Association.
Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. According to His great mercy, He has caused us to be born again to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. 1 Peter 1:3.
American Family Radio. This is Today's Issues. Email your comments to comments@afr.net. Past broadcasts of Today's Issues are available for listening and viewing in the archive at afr.net. Now, back to more of Today's Issues.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Thanks for listening to AFR. Tim Wildmon here with Fred Jackson and Chris Woodward, and we hope you had a wonderful Christmas celebration. And that may have been the longest time we took off from this show.
I think so, yeah.
We were off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Played Christmas music.
Yes, it was good.
Hope people enjoyed our Christmas music that we played there for 3 days. And we're back at it, and we'll be off January 1, right? Brent Creeley, our producer. When are we off?
We'll be off Thursday and Friday of this week for New Year's.
Okay, so New Year's is now 2 days?
Yes, sir.
They changed it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, was this
Yes,
a executive order by President Trump, or how'd this happen?
No,
we're off. Thursday is New Year's.
That's correct.
And so we decided to take the Friday off, too, like a lot of Americans. We like to back-to-back our holiday.
Sure.
That's
Plenty of time to watch college football bowl games, including the Duke's Mayo Bowl Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, America will be watching that one.
Yes,
Chris.
they will. Let me tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do have college football playoffs lined up for this week. Is this week? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
January 1.
Local team here.
No,
still
December 31st, which is Wednesday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday night, I think that is no, Ole Miss and Georgia is Wednesday night. I'm not sure. I think that may be Oregon and Texas Tech or something on Wednesday night. Anyway, there's one of those games. You got Ohio State and Miami. You got Ole Miss and Georgia. You got Texas Tech and Oregon, and you got what's the one I'm missing here?
Rose Bowl.
Alabama and Indiana.
Yeah, Rose Bowl.
Yeah, the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
Alabama. So Alabama and Indiana both got to go 2,000 miles to play a game, right? But hey, there are worse places to play than the legendary Rose Bowl. What are you going to say, Chris?
If I was a Hoosier, I wouldn't mind going to watch a football game in Southern California.
Oh, right, yeah.
On January 1st compared to the alternative.
That sounds like a Dr. Seuss poem. And if I were a Hoosier.
Yeah.
And nobody from Indiana has ever been able to tell me what a Hoosier actually is.
It's a person from Indiana. Yeah. And then
kind of like Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah, with the Hokie?
They're called the Hokies, and then nobody knows what a Hokie is, really. We do know about the hokey pokey.
What is a
We do
hokey?
know about that. All right, hey, I wanted to tell folks real quickly, remind folks if you haven't heard us already talk about this, we got some wonderful trips planned for 2026 that you may want to take advantage of if you're looking to go on a vacation with a purpose. I'll just tell you real quickly the tours we got lined up. In June and September, we do back-to-back tours. By back-to-back, I mean the days are back-to-back. So in June and September, as we do every year, we go to Colonial Williamsburg, we go to historic Jamestown, and we go to Yorktown. That's a Sunday night through Wednesday tour, okay? We pick everybody up at the airport in Washington, get on the bus, and we travel together so that we take care of you, okay? That's for people who want to fly in. Some people drive in. They drive to Williamsburg and join us there. So that's one trip. And then on Wednesday, we come back to D.C., and we do see our capital city. We do that Thursday, Friday, and then we go to Mount Vernon, George Washington's Mount Vernon on Saturday, and the tour concludes Saturday night. So if you want to stay with us for 7 days, basically, we'll take care of you the whole time, and you'll see all those sites I just mentioned. If you want to do one or the other, you don't have to do both. You can pick one of those tours. But we do that for a week in September and a week in June, okay? And this year, for the second year, we're going to Boston, the greater Boston area, for a tour there. And Lexington and Concord and Plymouth Rock and all the sites of historic Boston, the Freedom Trail. It's fantastic. And so those tours are available, and we have historians. Stephen McDowell, Timothy Barton from Wall Builders is going to Boston. So this isn't just drive by a site and say, hey, isn't that nice, or let's go in that building. This is you get the context of the people, places, and events that shaped our country's founding. And so that's what makes the tour unique. So if you want information on anything I just described and want to go with us, you can go to this website, wildmongroup.com. It used to be Spiritual Heritage Tours. That's why I stumble every time. WILDMON group.com. WILDMON group.com. And you can read about everything there, the cost, the itinerary, Q&A. There's some things there. So just check out all the tours that we're taking in 2026, and we would love to have you and or your family join us. You're listening to Today's Issues. What story's next, Chris?
All right, Minnesota fraud remains.
Minnesota fraud.
Yes, Minnesota fraud.
Is that a band?
No, it's a news topic.
Be a good band name, wouldn't it?
It would.
Like for a heavy metal group or something?
Minnesota fraud.
Yeah. Now to the stage.
Sunday. Only at the Coliseum. Yeah.
You sound like you were doing the ones with the big tires, the trucks.
Yeah.
The monster truck.
Monster Jam.
Yes. Minnesota fraud.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so Minnesota fraud has been a big issue for days, weeks, really, because news reports popped up in early December about various Somali immigrants perpetrating massive fraud in Minnesota, which, according to news reports, may reach as much as about $9 billion now.
Can I break this down?
Yes.
People, excuse me if you're interrupting, Chris, because I want to break this down if I can. Fred, correct me if I'm wrong. Chris, you correct me if I'm wrong if you want to, because I want people to understand how it matters, okay? So the United States federal government, known for its efficiency.
Yes. Yes.
Am I right? Is this legendary?
Well-oiled machine.
Yes. The United States federal government sends out money to the states for various and sundry reasons, right?
Yep.
every state is guilty. Well, I say guilty. Every state, you may not look at it like that. Every state receives grants and monies from the United States federal government, right?
Yeah.
So for all kind of different reasons. And so the federal government sent money to Minnesota to pay for, and then the state of Minnesota then administered the money or divvied it out. Again, this is the way I understand the story, so please correct me. Divvied it out to applicants. In the case of Minnesota, you had, and these took place in Somali. They got a big Somali population. They took place in Somali parts of the city, where they created these phony businesses, and the child care was one of them, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So the business was in name only. There was no real child care taking place, but the government of Minnesota was taking the money and giving it to these organizations anyway. And these organizations, the people were getting rich,
yes,
getting wealthy off the fraud
yes,
going on, and nobody was seemingly checking up on this. Nobody was, and that's where Governor Walz comes in his administration. He's a VP. He was the VP for Harris, his VP choice.
correct.
So he's up there now, and he's under siege because his administration was the one divvying out all this fraudulent money. Have I got the story right, Fred?
You have the story right. Just to add a few things.
Okay.
During COVID, the Biden administration really opened up the purse strings. I mean, they were sending money out just like it was water.
Yeah.
And we're talking about checks for hundreds of millions of dollars going to these states. The story in Minnesota, actually, the indication of fraud started back 2 or 3 years ago when Biden was still in office, but nothing was done about it. So now, as Chris was just saying, we're up to about the estimate is up to about $9 billion in fraud.
In Minnesota alone?
Just in Minnesota alone.
Okay.
All right.
So this goes back to COVID money.
Yes.
Okay.
When the government
I know, I remember handing it out like candy.
It was just incredible. And Chris, the big story that came really over the weekend is that this freelance journalist, he's 23 years old, and his name is
Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley. He's 23 years old.
Okay.
He does what good reporters used to do. He went to the offices of these various the daycares and the home care and all of this sort of thing, and he started knocking on doors.
Yeah, he found out that these things are about as authentic as a $4 bill.
Yes.
And this audio, this is like one of several videos that he's put out here, but we've got about a minute's worth of sound here. Clip 3.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong, and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday. If you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out. No one's working, midday, children should be in here, and this place is licensed for 99 children, and this is the outside. There's no windows, no nothing, and like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota. The government is complicit with this, and this is just one of the hundreds of child daycare centers here inside of Minneapolis being ran by the Somali population. It's sad that it's happening here in Minnesota, and it stinks that it's happening and it's being labeled on the Somali population. However, that's just the facts of what's happening here inside of Minnesota. $1.9 million for this daycare center that can't even spell learning right.
Okay.
It's amazing. These videos that...
who was that fellow right there?
Nick Shirley.
Nick Shirley has done.
Okay.
As of just about an hour ago, they have been viewed 113 million times. People are just in shock. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the other mainstream media, Associated Press, ABC News, CBS News, NBC News, not even covering this.
And that makes no sense because it's a juicy story that involves tax dollars, many of them from Democrats.
But it makes the Democrats look bad. They're not going to do that.
That's true.
They're especially Waltz. I don't know what kind of future he has in the national politics. I doubt he'll go anywhere. But
well, he is seeking re-election. And
re-election as governor. Okay.
Yes, and there are people in Minnesota that are upset by this, and I can say that based on some more audio from another journalist named Liz Collin. She's a reporter for Alpha News who also has been covering the Minnesota fraud story, and she said this to Fox Clip 4.
Absolutely. There is just mounting frustration, though, I can tell you, just among taxpayers in Minnesota as they're seeing more and more of this. We actually went out recently to check out a new round of sites, autism centers, adult daycares, programs rife with fraud. And I'll be honest, so much of this just seems fake. They have fake Google reviews, fake stock photos on their websites. In many cases, we found phone numbers don't work on their websites. And you're right, how Governor Walz is acting seems pretty telling as well. He seems to be making some maneuvers now as he runs for re-election for a third term in Minnesota. But I can tell you there is a petition that's been going around for just the last couple of weeks. Tens of thousands of people have now signed it, demanding that he resign in the wake of this fraud. So clearly a story where there is more to come. And again, mounting frustration, I think, among the taxpayers here in Minnesota.
I didn't know there were states left that allowed governors to run for a third term. So Minnesota evidently.
Yeah, there's a few. Most states are term limited, such as ours.
By two. Most states, you only can run 2 consecutive times as a governor. In Virginia, you can only go one.
Yeah,
I think you can come back and run a second time, but you got to allow you can't run 2 consecutive terms. So that's interesting that Waltz is running for his third term as governor.
Another aspect of this story of fraud there in Minnesota is millions of dollars. So you got, as you outlined, Tim, you got millions of dollars coming from the federal government going to these phony agencies run for the most part by Somalis there in Minneapolis. What they have found out so far is that millions of those dollars are being sent to Somalia.
Wow. That seems like a crime.
Cash.
A lot of people have been indicted up there, haven't they?
At least 80 have been indicted so far. And Kash Patel, FBI Director Kash Patel, has said this is just the tip of the iceberg. The tip of the iceberg.
Well, I can tell you, politically speaking, I think we all know this, why Governor Waltz doesn't want to deal with this issue. Has he said anything personally? I saw his spokesperson said something.
He's spoken out against like racist, everybody lumping in all Somali immigrants as being terrible people.
So he's going to play the race card.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's playing the race card this way. He's not being, it sounds like to me, he's not being critical of this because of he fears that the Somali community may vote against him in an election.
Sure.
Yeah.
So he's not going to criticize them. And, nobody's blaming the whole Somali population for the crimes of some, but it just happens to be inside their community.
Yes.
And so that's why the spotlight is on them. So anyway, all right, you're listening to Today's Issues on American Family Radio. Next story, Chris.
All right, let's go back about 5 years when then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi tore up President Trump's speech at the end of, I guess, his last State of the Union address. Remember at the end of the speech?
Oh, we remember it well. Yeah, she took his speech and shredded it right in front of President Trump and everybody. The whole world saw that.
Now, the reason I'm bringing up a 5-year-old topic is because Nancy made news over the weekend.
You know her personally?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we exchanged Christmas cards.
Nancy?
Nancy.
Okay.
Did you get ice cream?
No. But anyway, Nancy Pelosi talked about this issue with ABC's Jonathan Karl.
Yeah.
And she made these comments about that speech ripping up the script.
Okay.
Clip 11.
It was a horrible meeting. I think those people must have been embarrassed. If you look at the picture when I'm looking at them, they've got their heads down. But you know what I'm saying when I go out the door?
What?
I'm leaving here because I've had it with you, Mr. President. With you, all roads lead to Putin.
They put that picture out and said, "Crazy Nancy's unhinged," or whatever they said.
Is that what we're supposed to be hearing?
She's the end of the speech.
I get more requests to sign that picture. People like the tearing up of the speech. I didn't intend to go to speech to tear it up, but I just, the first part of it, I tore a page because he was lying, and then the next page, and then the next page. And I thought it was a manifesto of lies all throughout. So I better just tear up the whole speech. Now, the speeches are on strong paper. They're so you have to do it a few times to get it done. But I had no intention of doing it. I thought my staff was going to die.
I had no intention of tearing up the speech.
Yeah.
My
hands just went crazy there for a minute, and just, next thing I knew, I'd torn up a speech. The State of the Union speech. Well, that was one of the most tackiest moments in the history of our State of the Union address. But
so much for decorum.
Yeah,
she knew what she was doing when she tore that up.
Yeah,
it's just like the Republican guy 10 years ago when Obama was president that shouted, "You lie!" You remember him?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and he was sanctioned for it.
Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't sanctioned for tearing up the speech.
No.
Yeah, it's just bad.
No.
All right.
I'll talk to her since we're close.
Yeah, well, you
Nancy.
said you called her Nancy.
That
That's
was
why I
wrong,
wondered
Nancy.
if you guys were on a first name basis or whatever. You're listening to Today's Issues on AFR. Next story, Chris.
All right, Erica Kirk.
Are we out of stories yet?
No.
We got more? Okay.
No, but wait, there's Murr.
Okay.
All right, so Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk, she was on Fox over the weekend to talk with Shannon Bream about how she's dealing with the absence of Charlie, who, of course, was shot and killed back in September during a TPUSA event in Utah. And Erica said that she's had to rely on her faith to get her through the tough times. Clip 12.
And the answer to me is just so simple. Like, you trust in the Lord, and when you trust in the Lord, you do it. And faith is so powerful when it's lived out, but I don't have this massive in-depth answer. God is good, and the world is evil. Don't be surprised when the world acts like the world. But I know that the Lord will use everything.
I can post more of the segment.
Who is she doing an interview with?
Shannon Bream.
Oh, okay. Shannon Bream on Fox News. I like her. She's a believer, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shannon Bream, Erica Kirk, she has really been a strong woman, given what happened to her. And she's going to, you wonder, well, why is she doing so many public appearances and interviews? She probably does less than she gets asked to do, I'm sure. But she wants to, this is the best I can tell, and I don't know her personally. I did see her, I was in the audience at Ole Miss when she and Vice President Vance were there a few months ago for an event by Turning Point USA. But I think the reason she's making some public appearances and interviews is because she wants to keep the organization going, Turning Point USA. She wants to keep it growing and flourishing, and so that's why she is the CEO now.
Yes.
So I don't know if she'll maintain that position, if they'll find somebody else that can do it, and then she will be kind of off the stage, so to speak. But for right now, she's doing these kinds of interviews, and I don't know what Shannon Bream asked her there. I should probably ask her, how are you coping, in light of the tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just admire her. I really do.
Well, she's carrying on. Her husband had such a passionate views on these issues,
right,
of trying to bring young people back to thinking about where they had strayed.
Right.
And she shares that passion that Charlie Kirk had. She, married to the guy, and she's just carrying that forward. And the horrible assassination of Charlie Kirk has led to even a greater focus on what he has stood for and what he died for, is bringing young people back to this point where Charlie Kirk wanted people to think about their worldview.
Yeah.
Where do you get that from? And he was willing to go into what would be the lion's den, going to these universities and taking the flack from these young people, but then challenging them in a very positive way to think about what they were saying.
Yeah.
Where did you get this idea?
Right.
Where did you get the idea that a little baby in the womb is not a human being?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get that from? Mm-hmm. She wants to carry that on.
Yeah. I don't know the Bible verse. I should know, but it says, "Come, let us reason together."
Yes.
You know where that is? It's in the Scripture. Basically, it's I think that's God speaking. Come,
Isaiah 1:18.
Okay, Isaiah 1:18. But come, let us reason together. And Charlie Kirk tried to get people to debate, and discuss, and analyze in it with an open mind, all kinds of different topics, including Christianity. And when he did so, he wanted to use persuasion to get people to think about things and to possibly change their minds and about issues, and not just politics, but he was very engaged in spreading the gospel. So Frank Turek told us that.
Yes.
Dr. Frank Turek has told us that. In fact, Charlie Kirk sought out Dr. Frank Turek, our friend from I Don't Have Enough Faith to Be an Atheist show on Saturday and Sunday here on AFR. Frank will tell you that Charlie sought him out to be his mentor when it came to defending the Christian faith and what we call apologetics. And the resurrection, defending the resurrection of Christ, and all those things which would help him, that is Charlie, when he went out and debated on college campuses. And the thing about it is, he would take all comers. Charlie Kirk would, and so you could come up to the microphone. We've all seen his videos, most of us have, and he would just start engaging somebody. It didn't matter if they believed like him or not. In fact, he wanted people to disagree with him so that he could counter with his own arguments. So anyway.
Yep.
So Charlie Kirk, the Erica Kirk there, commenting on how she's coping and dealing with, the aftermath of losing her husband like she did. All right, we will be back momentarily with more of today's issues. Chris, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And Steve Paisley Jordahl will bring his news to us in just a few minutes right here on today's issues. Stay tuned.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
Do you know the largest unpaid and untrained workforce in America? It's not in a factory or an office. It's the 65 million family caregivers. And if that is you, I understand the journey you're on.
Peter Rosenberger has been a caregiver for 4 decades. He's the host for Hope for the Caregiver, Saturday mornings at 7 Central on AFR.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
For American Family News, I'm Chris Woodward. A meeting at Mar-a-Lago today will feature President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Supposed topics for discussion will include Phase 2 of the Trump peace deal between Israel and Hamas. Phase 2 involves the rebuilding of Gaza. Independent journalist Nick Shirley has become a household name after his work to get information on Minnesota fraud involving places such as daycare centers. This is but a portion of one of Shirley's videos.
We're wondering, where are the children? $2.66 million for
You're not talking
the
to
Minnesota
right
Child Care Center.
You're not talking to the right person.
Are there children that come here? Answer the question. Are there children?
Journalist Liz Collin of Alpha News has also been covering the fraud story. Colin offered these thoughts to Fox and Friends.
This has been going on for years and basically out in the open. If you saw that video in Minnesota, we have stories dating back nearly a decade now. Fake daycares, millions of dollars in cash and carry-on luggage flying out of our airport by Somali men each week. The question, though, now I think with the glare of the national spotlight, will it actually stop? We actually went out recently to check out a new round of sites, autism centers, adult daycares, programs rife with fraud. And I'll be honest, so much of this just seems fake.
For more on Minnesota fraud, visit our website, afn.net. The FBI recently announced an investigation into a child sexual exploitation gang. AFN's Bronson Woodruff has more.
AFN has reported previously about child sexual exploitation, also known as sextortion. It's when child predators contact minors via some sort of electronic device, through social media, text messages, or another method. The sextortionist pretends to be someone the child knows and gains his or her trust. Then, after sensitive photos are exchanged, the predator reveals his true identity and blackmails the child, often requiring money. There have been documented cases, recent ones, of victims committing suicide. The FBI announced this month it's investigating a group, calling it 764. It says the sadistic 764 network is preying on vulnerable young people, adding that it's a network of nihilistic violent extremists whose goal is accelerating social unrest and the downfall of the current world order, including the United States government. Marcel Vanderwatt is the president and CEO at the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. He said that exploiting young children is nothing new.
I've personally worked with cases dating back to the early 2000s as a law enforcement officer. I do think there's a confluence of things that's just allowing this to proliferate. I think, we have the democratization really of technology, access to the internet. As we always say, where children play, that's where the predators prey.
Vanderwatt added that parents should realize it is critically important that they're acutely aware of what their children have access to online.
Many children have access to smartphones throughout the night, throughout the day, and that's just not healthy. It's got very real risks.
I'm Bronson Woodruff.
California has dropped a lawsuit officials filed against the Trump administration over the federal government's withdrawal of $4 billion for the state's long-delayed high-speed rail project. The Trump administration has said the authority running the project does not have a viable plan to complete it. A California group is seeking private investors to support the project, which is estimated to cost more than $100 billion. The project receives most of its funding from the state of California. In final news, you might soon be able to change your email address through Google. Fox's Evan Brown explains.
Watchers of Google's account help page in the Hindi language saw that Gmail users can now change their Gmail account names, which would also include their Gmail email addresses. While no English language support has revealed the change in the feature, the Hindi page does say the power to change the name will roll out to all markets eventually. This could be particularly helpful to people who would rather not use the same silly handle they picked while still a teenager. Looking at you, Bieber fan for life 2002.
That's all our time for now. Find more news on afn.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on X, and subscribe to our free daily email news briefs on afn.net. I'm Chris Woodward. Thank you for listening.
Women going through the ordeal of infertility or miscarriage experience pain and loneliness that are too much for words. The Hannah's Heart Conference, January 30th and 31st, 2026, at Hope Church in Tupelo, Mississippi, can help bring hope and encouragement with biblical teaching from Jane Johnson and worship led by Phil King. For more information or to register, visit afr.net/HHC 2026. afr.net/HHC 2026.
Today's Issues continues on AFR with your host, Tim Wildmon, President of the American Family Association.
Hey, welcome back to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Tim with Fred. We thank you for listening. Tim Wildmon, Fred Jackson. Ed Battagliano is off until 2026. Huh? Our colleague and friend, Ed Battagliano, if you're wondering where he went.
See you next year.
So do we. He just went away. Said he'd be back next year. Steve Paisley Jordahl joins us. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning, everybody.
How you doing, brother?
I'm well, thank you.
Okay. At the risk of sounding judgmental,
Okay.
which we all can be from time to time, we have 100 plus staff here.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably 50% of them who want to take off a lot of days in December, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've never quite understood this, except if you have family coming from other, that you don't ever see, so you want to take off. Although I can't imagine any family that you never see and you want them to stay more than a week.
Right.
Then you want them to go back to their home.
Time to leave.
Am I right?
Right.
That's right.
So, but what I don't understand is, again, I sound like I'm judging people. I'm not. Like, well, maybe I am. I don't know. You tell me. Who want to take off for 2 or 3 weeks in December when it's the coldest and darkest. By darkest, I mean like it gets dark at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Time of the year. So you want to take off. I try to explain to these people there's something called spring and summer and fall that you can use those same vacation days and just experience so much of nature. Am I right, Fred?
That's right.
So, Fred, are you with me on this?
Oh, yeah,
And
absolutely.
Not judging them.
No.
But wondering why they do what they do.
Well, the thing is, Tim, ministry is very generous.
Yeah.
At Christmas time, like last week, we had 3 days off, 3 of the 5 working days. It was great.
Yeah.
This week, another couple of days.
Right.
So there's so many days that the ministry is so good to give us all this time off.
Yeah.
It's.
I know. We are generous because we are family.
Yeah.
We're American family.
Yeah,
So
it was great.
We try to be generous with our and our folks work hard all year, so we want to be. But anyway, that's just me. I wasn't talking about Ed in particular. Did I bring Ed's name up?
Ed who?
Yeah.
Ed.
I know he watches his hockey on his iPad. I know that's very important to him. Well, you're a hockey guy too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm probably not into it as much as Ed.
Ed. He'll stay with those Boston Bruins till they're out of the playoff hunt.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Steve, how you doing?
Good. I got a hockey story to end this segment with. If
So
we
stay
have time.
tuned for that one.
Stay tuned to that one if we have time.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's well. Let's talk about Donald Trump. All in the news last week, and the last couple of weeks, has been the potential of war with Venezuela, the bombing of these ships, but over Christmas, Donald Trump changed the channel a little bit and launched what he called powerful and deadly strikes against militants linked to ISIS in northwest Nigeria. He says he did this because Nigerians were targeting primarily innocent Christians. And so this was from Truth Social. He said, tonight, at my direction as Commander-in-Chief, the United States has launched a powerful and deadly strike against ISIS terrorist scum in northwest Nigeria who had been targeting and viciously killing primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years.
Well, this took place. Did this take place on Christmas Day, Fred?
It did. Yeah, Christmas Day.
So the weapons that were launched, were they launched from the ocean?
From
a carrier?
From a carrier.
Yep.
That's what I understand, yeah.
Now,
and it had the blessing of the Nigerian government, is my understanding.
And they said that it's not. The Nigerian government said this isn't about a religious thing. It's about ISIS.
ISIS is religious.
Well, the Nigerian government.
The very name of it is Islamic.
Yes, but the Nigerian government wanting because there's a Muslim population that they want to kind of. They're trying to separate the ISIS
terrorists from the peaceful Muslims.
Peaceful Muslims in the country.
Yeah.
They don't want to excite the passions of the unpeaceful Muslims. But Trump says it's because they're attacking Christians. Who's attacking Christians? It's the Muslims that are doing it. The Nigerian government says, well, we're just going after the terrorists. So
Okay, so the United States of America, with the cooperation or agreement from the government of Nigeria, launched a missile or missiles from the ocean from one of our carriers out there, our battleships. Nigeria's pretty deep into Africa, isn't it?
It's in the middle, right in the middle of.
That's amazing that
yeah.
we have a smart bomb that can travel that far. Well, we did it again in the Iranian war, but we were closer, seems to me, but that with the ships. But anyway, so launch a missile that flies over Africa and hits in the middle of it at a precise location. And what President Trump is saying, it hit, and I guess the Nigerian government confirmed this?
Yes.
That it hit a ISIS
or
run,
ISIS.
or something similar to ISIS.
Yeah.
The
Boko Haram is popular there, which is kind of the same thing.
And they have been, it's well noted in all kinds of news services, they have been targeting Christians.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been abducting young girls from Christian schools.
Yeah.
That's what's been going on.
Yeah, so President Trump hit them hard.
Yeah.
He did.
So we'll see what the result of that is.
Yep.
But anyway, that happened on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
All right, you're listening to Today's Issues on AFR. Next story, Steve.
I know you talked earlier this show about Mamdani and his fire chief and everything. I wanted to check in with New York City to see how the government's going there. They have a new law called COPA, which stands for Community Opportunity to Purchase Act.
Okay.
And I have a guy here, this is a person who is not in favor of COPA. And
at the Copacabana?
It is like Copacabana, except nothing the same.
Huh?
This will explain it a little bit. Let's listen to
the guy's name's not Barry Manilow, is he?
His name is not Barry.
Okay. He's a New Yorker, you know.
Yes, cut 15.
New York City's COPA law, let me tell you how it works. Step one, you have to decide that you're going to sell your building. Hold on, you can't list it publicly yet. Step two, you notify nonprofits to see if they want to buy it. They then have a 30-day window to tell you if they're interested or not. If you don't, it's a $30,000 fine. But here's the bad news. If they are interested, they have up to 120 days to give you an offer. Now, if you don't want to accept that offer, that's when you can put it on the open market. If you put it on the open market and you get an offer that you absolutely love, you then have to offer it back to the city at that same price, causing tremendous delays in the closing process, which inevitably leads to dead deals. If you look at a crash in industry, well, this is the perfect way to do it.
So basically, if you want to sell your building, you have to sell it to the government or nonprofits. They're not, private deals are dying in New York City, private real estate deals.
Well, this guy hadn't even been elected, hadn't even been installed into office yet,
No,
right?
but the spirit of Mamdani is already
Spirit of Mamdani
working in New York City.
All right. Sounds like, I don't know.
Well, that's what socialist governments do. Basically, they nationalize things. They take over companies.
They do in the name of price control.
Yep.
And for the little person, take over everything and make things worse.
Yep.
Yep.
My dad used to say the free enterprise system, undergirded by Christian principles, has done the greatest good for mankind than any other economic system in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
It is, and it's a lesson that young people have lost. Every generation needs to learn for itself, I guess, the evils of communism. If you ask someone that was, like our age, we'll point to what happened with Pot Paul or with Russia, the USSR. We remember the evils of communism, China.
Pot Paul.
Pol Pot.
Pol Pot, I'm sorry.
Pol Pot.
Pol Pot.
That's like pulled pork?
Pol Pot was a dictator in Cambodia.
Okay, I don't remember him.
Well,
thank you for letting me know.
He was perhaps one of the most deadliest communist leaders for killing his own people. But anybody our age will remember the communism in Russia, how it was evil for deadly
former Soviet Union,
and former communist China under Mao Zedong and the Cultural Revolution that just decimated.
Communism and dictatorships also go hand in hand.
They do, but every generation has to learn this for themselves because we have a whole generation of young people now who think socialism is great, even though it's never proven.
But it sounds appealing. it's like utopia,
right?
You know, to these folks.
Here's when the young people learn it's bad. When they go out and they get a job and they start looking at their paycheck and they're seeing how much they're taxed. And they're saying, wait a minute, what do you mean I have to pay for this? I have to pay for universal child care, which is what one of the things he's bringing in. What do you mean I have to pay for that grocery store for people to have cheap groceries?
Yeah.
What do you mean I have to pay for free transit?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It is. That does change your attitude when you see how much money is being taken out of your check to promote socialism. All right, next story.
All right.
We've already done 2 New York stories now. We don't need another one, okay?
New York City.
New York City. Mondani.
The euphemistically called gender-affirming care is dying a slow but sure death right now. Several countries. This is if you have especially for young people, for minors, if they have gender dysphoria and they think they're the other gender, a lot of people in this country for years have said, fine, we will treat you, we'll give you gender.
Whatever you call yourself, that's what we're going with.
And not only that, but we'll affirm it with drugs that will sterilize you, keep you from having puberty, and we'll chop off body parts if you want. And we'll keep that from parents. That was kind of the direction everything was going. Well, Newsweek has published a study, is highlighting a study called The Treatment for Pediatric Gender Dysphoria, a Review of Evidence and Best Practices. And it is by a couple, Madi Gorin and Kathleen McDevitt. And they note, given the current widespread distrust of HHS, especially regarding vaccines, we knew this review, which we co-authored, would meet with skepticism, so it is worth noting that we, along with most of the other authors, are liberals. This is not some conservative group that's forwarding what we know is the truth.
That you might expect to see this.
Right. This is liberals who took a look at the evidence of how things are going. And what they found is that the U.S. justification for giving drugs and surgeries to these people was basically largely based on a Dutch experiment that consisted of just 70 adolescents who had been gender nonconforming, so to speak, since early childhood. The vast majority, the 62 out of the 70, reported being gay or homosexual. During the study, one patient died of surgical complications due to having been given puberty blockers years earlier. Some of the people of 70 developed diabetes and were excluded from final data analysis. Others were lost to follow-up. The remaining 55 patients underwent surgical transition. All were rendered sterile. In short, the medical practice, now known euphemistically as pediatric gender-affirming care, is based on methodologically weak research that sterilized a group of gay or bisexual youth and left one of them dead. They are saying that there is no good justification for giving young people any kind of intervention other than psychological intervention, help them deal with gender dysphoria. Now, there's still a lot of people who will try to affirm, but there's no justification for medical intervention on young people. It's damaging, and it shouldn't happen. And several countries around the world, England being one, and some of the Scandinavian countries have already come to this conclusion and banned it, and the United States needs to be next.
Well, now, I thought President Trump, he issued some kind of an executive order, one of the first things he did.
Yes.
On this issue. I've forgotten exactly what happened, and many states have also passed legislation, red states in particular, protecting kids.
There are some blue states who are biding their time, I think, hoping for a new administration. Right now, all these procedures are on hold. It does need legislation at the state level. There's no reason. Studies like this don't validate the fact that it is damaging to try to medically help these kids.
You would think that's obvious and common sense, but
you would.
Let me change subject just a minute. You didn't know I was going to bring this up, Steve, but you keep up with AI pretty well.
I do. Might try.
Artificial intelligence. I noticed a story on Fox It was an interview with James Woods. He's the actor.
Mm-hmm.
Many people know. If you don't know that name, you would know his face.
Sure.
He's been in many popular movies over the last 3 or 4 decades. James Woods, Oscar nominated. Anyway, he is saying that it won't be long before artificial intelligence puts actors out of business. Okay, so here's what he's saying. He's saying that that artificial intelligence. Yeah, we've all seen the videos here. They do deep fakes now. They do videos that that look so realistic. You wonder, is this real or is this a computer-generated image or a scene or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
He's saying, James Woods is saying, now he's saying for right now, and maybe, I don't know, the next 10 years or so, he says it wouldn't work so well at the box office, for example, or streaming because, and I'll just use Americans or North Americans in Canada, people like their favorite actors or actresses.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll go see a movie, for example, if Tom Hanks is in it, or Meryl Streep is in it, or that's a big attraction for people because they kind of like that actor and they think that they do good movies.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what he's saying is, as soon as this generation, I don't know how you define that exactly, maybe 10 years or so, the generation of people familiar with actors today who are
once these actors retire,
big stars,
right?
Then they are going to lose interest in whoever the actors and actresses are, and they're going to switch over to the AI generated movies.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Television shows, I guess.
I don't know how they're going to avoid it. I think right now you're right. Tom Hanks and Tom Cruise and all those people can sue if their image was AI generated and they weren't involved. So they won't do that. But the first AI stars, let's say, a movie that and these movies spend tens of millions of dollars to employ
it's
these
be financial.
actors.
Oh yeah.
So if you can do it for free, just by computer generating it, you're saving millions and millions of dollars. I don't know how you.
But would people? I guess it remains unseen. Would people watch? Would they go to movies or watch television shows that they know are not real people? Would people do that?
I think so.
You think so?
People,
maybe the younger generation, by younger I mean under 40 maybe, would convert over to that?
Sure. It's already, the Instagrams, the little 30-second, 40-second little videos that you see, so many of them, and they look so real.
That's true.
They look so real that, and I could see, these big movie companies saying, I don't have to hire all of these crews and keep them around.
Right.
I don't have to pay $20 million. Is that what Tom Cruise gets for a movie?
About that, yeah.
All that sort of thing.
Well, then the movies and TV shows and whatever else you want to watch as entertainment will be they can be created by a 15-year-old.
That's right.
At home.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, if they know enough about technology.
Yes.
That kind of thing would be on the right. And we're seeing a lot of that now. A lot of that kind of going on. And you're right. These little short videos, my wife had Instagram pulled up the other day. She doesn't subscribe to it, but it was somebody sent her a video, I think, to watch. But then you start scrolling these, and I've done it on YouTube before. You start scrolling, and before you know it, you're like going, what happened the last 3 hours?
Yeah.
Because they got these little 15-second or 30-second funnies. And I was watching one the other day, and I with her, she was saying, watch this. And I said, that doesn't look right. That looks like it's, and about every third one you would go, oh, that's genuine, that's real. And then then you'd go, some of them you'd go, that looks like it was either staged or it's computer generated, especially with pets.
Right.
Yes.
With pet, you saw when these pets do certain things, and it looks like a computer generated.
Or it's implausible. I saw just a bunch of these videos of dogs going over and covering up little babies right before an earthquake strikes, like they're supposed to know, and then they're sacrificing themselves. That's unrealistic.
Right.
It looked real,
but yeah, it's kind of America's funniest home videos that we used to watch on TV, put on the internet.
Yep.
But today, I guess so many people create fake ones or something. Yep. I don't know. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see if James Woods, he's a legendary actor. He's a conservative, one of the few in Hollywood. But if his prediction comes to pass in the next few years, whether people move away from traditional movies to just going for the AI generated movies, which are computer generated and no actors. You don't have to film something on a set. I mean, that could devastate the entertainment industry in many ways. Am I right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, next story.
All right, I wanted to introduce you to 104-year-old World War II veteran Dominic Critelli.
How do I know he's not AI generated?
Because you just listen to this.
Okay.
He was asked to perform the national anthem at an Islanders hockey game, and this is what it sounded like. Cut 14.
And here to perform our national anthem, please welcome 104-year-old World War II Army veteran, Staff Sergeant Dominic Critelli.
Not bad for 104 years old.
I'll say, was that a saxophone he's playing?
It was.
What is that?
Soprano sax.
Soprano sax. I've watched that video.
Yeah, it's a soprano saxophone.
It's not AI.
What's the guy's name with the long hair? Soprano saxophone used to play.
Kenny G. But
Kenny G.
Yeah. He doesn't play the saxophone.
He does.
Does he? Okay.
Soprano sax. Anyway.
Boy, see, Steve set me straight pretty quick, didn't he?
We only have a couple minutes. I wanted
to
say that Mr. Critelli, he braved Normandy, and he was one of the people that flew ammunition and stuff into the people who were cut off during the Battle of the Bulge at great danger to himself during World War II.
What was the what's his name?
Dominic Critelli.
We salute you. 104 years old, still playing the saxophone, and was invited by the New York Islanders hockey team to play the national anthem. We're good on them, too.
Yeah, it's great.
That is a good news story to end the day with. Thank you.
Even if it's from New York.
That's right. All right, thank you for joining us, everybody. Appreciate it very much. Have a great day. Keep listening to AFR. We'll see you back here tomorrow.